What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Doing pretty good. That was one of the best weekends of football in a long time. I had a great time. It's been rainy here in Vegas. We don't get that often, so it's always nice when we get that. I know a lot of people hate the rain. I love it. I love every second of it.
Oh yeah, I sent the craziest picture in our group chat.
I got it. I know.
You're ever gonna see.
I saw it.
That is oh, if I can pull that up, let me see.
Are you talking about the strip one?
Yeah. So on the strip, oh, you know what? I can actually put.
I don't know if you sent it. Did you send it?
I did.
Oh, sweet. I got a better one. Here, I got a better one. I'll send it in the group chat right now.
Look at that. Look at how crazy that looks.
Here, I just sent it into the group chat now. This was an aerial view of the strip. This is cool.
Oh, I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I was like, well, I was down at the strip and I work like around where this picture was taken. This is,
if you can pull this one up.
Insane.
This was the coolest thing.
Yeah, hold on.
Because I was downtown too, and I was out, out back. And it was so cool.
Look at that. That's insane.
That is insane. That's one of the coolest pictures of Vegas I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is amazing. But we are here today not to talk about the Vegas Rain Casino, but instead to talk about just a fantastic week of football.
Phenomenal.
It's literally for this show specifically. I just wanted to pull this up right here. Is for this show specifically, obviously Casino and I are both he's a Patriots fan, I'm an Eagles fan. So obviously both our teams won. I wouldn't say big games for either of them, but definitely games that were in kind of like they need to prove it category, right? Because with you guys, it was, it's in division. Thursday night games have been weird. Are the Patriots really the best? Blah, blah, blah. For the Eagles, it was Lions have been talking shit for 2 years about how they're a better team. So there was layers to it. But for the show
like
specifically,
onions?
Exactly. For the show specifically, let's pull up the haters hanger. Let's see. Loss to the Broncos for the Chiefs. Blowout loss to the Jaguars by the Chargers. We'll see tonight with the Cowboys. Miami wins, but they're irrelevant. And then the Cardinals get blown out. We also took the Seahawks on here that we used to have on here. So the Seahawks also lose. Great weekend for the haters hanger. Great weekend.
So pretty.
It looks so good. But
it's almost better than the picture of Vegas.
But let's just dive into the games, Casino. The first game we have to talk about is, of course, Denver Broncos win in Denver 22-19. Kansas City Chiefs coming off their bye, where usually Andy Reid is automatic, and they lose. Again, they lose to a Denver team that's missing Patrick Surtain. They're missing a bunch of guys on that defense. So they lost to this Denver team that wasn't even, there's no excuses for this one. It's like Kansas City has all their guys back that we were told for 2 months, like, once this team gets put together, there's players on the team talking about how this is the best version of the Chiefs we've ever seen. And then
so silly.
They got everybody back, and they are currently 5-5 and have lost to basically every good team they've played. Speak on it.
You would think, I still chose the Broncos, but you would think that Andy Reid coming off a bye, he was 22-4 coming off a bye in his career, that you would think, which is insane, by the way, that he's been doing this long, but you would think that they got the W, right? They need it. They have to kind of salvage their season. Going 500 is not going to be good for them, and this is going to be a very tough divisions out of stretch, right? Like they're 4 games plus 4.5 games out of winning this division. That's off the table.
Yeah.
Totally off the table.
Even like a collapse by the Broncos would still make it to where Kansas City would need like some help.
Yeah. They have 7 games left. They would have to damn near win out, right?
Yeah. And
So
Broncos would have to damn near lose out.
they win out as of right now. They're only getting to 12 wins, and that could get them in the playoffs at 12 wins. I think that's a good benchmark for the AFC, but they're not going to. And I say this because not only if somehow they get back all the way through their division, the Broncos, they currently have the head-to-head. I know they need to play the Chargers and the Broncos once more, but also in front of them, all three wild card spots, because the Patriots, most likely, knock on wood, are going to take the AFC East, right? So the Bills, they lost to the Bills. So the Bills have the tiebreak. They lost to the Jags. The Jags have the tiebreak. And then they lost to the Chargers in week 1. So not looking so hot, right? And I know that the Chargers lost and whatnot, but I'm totally fine with that because you needed the Jags to win. If you want to see, if you want to see KC out, right? You needed that to happen. Now you have the Ravens who have 5 wins. You have the Texans who have 5 wins. I don't have much faith in them, right? Is there another 5-win team? I think you have it pulled up.
I actually do not, but I will in a second. Is
But
there
yeah,
another
so
5-win team in the AFC?
yeah, so
Let's
you got the
see.
Broncos, or not
There's-
the Chiefs.
No, just Ravens, Texans,
Texans,
Chiefs. That's it.
Okay, so I was right. There was no other. So that is great. It's a great day to be a Chief hater. It is just phenomenal. But so getting back to the game, you have Bo Nix, right? He's not having the great year that he had last year, but he's getting it done. Everybody's very critical and hypercritical. Okay, maybe they won't win a Super Bowl, but you know what? Defenses win Super Bowls. Peyton Manning won Super Bowl 50, and he couldn't throw the damn ball more than 10 yards, right?
Yeah.
That defense won. That was, I think, the last time a defensive player won the Super Bowl MVP. Von Miller, just absolutely stud, right? So there is a possibility. This defense is good. They can handle it when they need to handle it. Yes, we've seen them get scored on, before, but in their core, they are a great defense. So I'm not too worried about the Broncos. I hope they start lose 2. I'd say lose 2. So I want the Patriots to get that number 1 seed. So you can lose a couple now. Maybe lose the next one against the Chiefs. I don't know. End of season, that would make me happy. But yeah, Chiefs, I'm not too worried about that now. I'm kind of sitting pretty with that call preseason, which you called me nuts. Everybody called me crazy that the Chiefs would not make the playoffs. Well, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this right now.
Oh man, what a great when we do our video at the end where we review
if that happens,
hot takes.
I know I had some misses here, right? I know I had some misses here. And Colts aren't looking as good as they were, at the beginning of the season, but that's fine. I said Daniel Jones, when he gets in there, because it was inevitable that he was going to over Richardson, when he got in there, he was gonna he would have an over 500 record for the games that he played. So that one's looking good. I know that the Saquon Barkley one's not, but anyway, we'll get all of that later. The one that's important right now is the Chiefs might not make the playoffs, and I feel so goddamn good about it.
Yeah. No,
I feel so good about it.
Oh, it's I mean, this is, of any point in the season, this is the closest to that prediction being correct. Like that is where we are right now, which is
I was driving into work, and when I drive into work, it's right as the last, those mid games are finishing, right? So, and with Red Zone, how it does that thing is when one game ends, or one of the last 2 games ends, then it's done. So
yeah,
I didn't get to watch the rest of it. And, I purposely take side streets to work on Sunday just so I can get to the stoplight, look down, see what's going on. Obviously, it's not safe to drive with your phone, but that's why I take side streets. So when I get to a stop sign or a stoplight, I can check it out. I was watching Gamecast going, and I had an array of emotions where the new updated format of Gamecast, when the Broncos did that really long pass to get them within the field goal range, and whatever 4th and whatever, I think it was 4th or 3rd, that red zone went red, and it was a long pass. So the first thing my mind was like, oh, it was fucking intercepted. Oh no. And so that was the first thing. And then I saw that they caught it, and I was like, they have a chip shot for the win. Is this going to happen again? Like, what's going on? Oh, it was so good. I hope people in vehicles next to me stopped at the stoplights were watching because I was freaking out in my truck. It was the greatest thing. I walk into work. I have smiles for days. Regulars who come in to watch on Sundays, they were smiling at me because we all are Chief haters. It was the greatest. We all knew what we were happy about. It was the greatest.
This is that one meme where, you know, it's the one guy and he's like crying and he goes, crying because I prayed for days like this. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. It's such a great, especially because, and this is the thing that annoys me about Eagles hate is Eagles fans are the most, and this is why there's always drama around Eagles fans or around the Eagles team. Eagles fans are the most like, oh my God, we're never going to win a game again. Like they're like the most like doomer, even when the team's like
hot or cold.
Yeah, like the greatest team on the planet, even after they win the Super Bowl, it's like, oh my God, who are we going to lose? Like, how are we going to do this again? Like, they're that kind of fan base. The Kansas City Chiefs fans are the exact opposite, where it's just like, well, it doesn't matter. We're the best team that's ever existed. Like, who cares if we're 5-5? Like, we're just going to win out, and then it's going to make the Super Bowl even sweeter. Like, that's how they are across the board.
Which is still a possibility, and it scares the shit out of me. But
yeah, but they were also just like, no, Kansas City's coming off a bye. Denver sucks. There's no way the Broncos will ever beat the Chiefs. Like, there's not even a 1% possibility. And then after the game, it's just like, well, I guess, we just need to fire Andy Reid because he's wasting Patrick Mahomes' prime. I saw that. I thought that was one stupid guy on Twitter. I saw that take like 7 times from a bunch of different accounts where I was just like, this is like the Chiefs fans are at this point where they're 5-5 and they're just like, well, we're wasting Patrick Mahomes' prime. It's like, do you watch the games? Mahomes is the reason they're losing most of these games. That pick six, again, tell me if you've heard this before, Casino. A pick six got negated by a penalty. So, yeah, that's again. Also, do we want
both of KC's touchdowns could have been called back?
Yeah. But of course they weren't, because again, in this game with the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't know if you looked at the disparity. Why can I not say that word?
Anyway,
did you look at?
Both of those touchdowns were helped by some calls situations.
Well, also, did you see the difference in the team stats where it comes to penalties?
Yeah, so they both had 10. This is funny. I've seen that. Like, well, they both got called for 10. They both got called for 10. Yeah, okay. The yardage matters, and it's the key moments. This is what we've talked about for past 3 years.
Thank you so much.
About the Chiefs. It's key moments. The greatest thing that you've ever sent me was that Tom Brady thing where it was in Tom Brady's entire career had X amount of touchdowns called back, right? Or not interceptions called back.
Yeah, interceptions negated by penalties.
There it is.
Yes.
And Mahomes hit that like 3 years ago.
Yes.
Tom Brady's entire career, and Mahomes hit that like two years ago, I think it was.
And again, this year, it's also still happening. It's not like that report came out and it was verified and all this kind of stuff.
It's the key moments. And I was worried. We've talked about this when they started changing the rule book, right? When they started making things a little bit more murky and unclear of what the rules are for this or that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of turning into the NBA. This is kind of why I feel like the NBA is unwatchable. For me, was anything and everything could be called a foul. And now it's dictating, everybody's going to be like, oh, well, that's because, they had this. And now with the whole betting thing, it is going to be so tough to be, it's going to be so tough to make these calls right. But it is getting worse and worse.
And again, we see this is my issue and our entire issue on this podcast that we keep harping on. I hear I see a lot of people saying last night's game between the Eagles and Lions ended on like a bullshit pass interference call. I agree. Where was that same energy when the Denver Eagles game also ended on a bullshit non-call for pass interference?
I wasn't even bother reaching out to you about that because I know what your take was. You were going to be like, yeah, that was a bullshit. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
the Lions would still have to go do something. And no, that defense was going to
That's not even
stop.
the point. The point I'm making for this is show me the other side of the coin for Chiefs games where the penalties, they get fucked by one at the end of the game. So I can show you, what is it? You say, oh, the Eagles got helped by the refs at the end of the game. I can show you an exact scenario at the end of the game where they don't get helped by the referees. Now everybody says, oh, well, the Chiefs always get like the bet. It's the same thing with the Chiefs where they get screwed over by the refs. Show me the time where that happens. That's the difference. I can show you 31 teams, 31 examples of them being helped by the refs and them being screwed by the refs. There's a study we have not talked about on this podcast that came out that showed like a college study that showed the Chiefs are
it was either TCU or Texas A&M. It was one of the two.
Yeah. So in this game, let me ask you, Casino, you said it. They both had 10 penalties. The Kansas City Chiefs got called for 69 yards. Nice. And the Broncos got called for 147 yards worth of penalties. So you're telling me both of these teams had the same amount of penalties, and the Broncos penalties somehow still equated to almost 100 yards more. Like, how?
And how? Again, those two touchdowns, as I've said, those touchdowns were helped by penalties going in favor of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the pick six that favors the Broncos. Oh, wouldn't you know it? It's if there's a penalty on that play. Again, you can point out so many times during the game where it's like, oh, this is clearly a penalty, but it's ticky-tack. Who cares? Every penalty called in favor of the Chiefs, you're like, well, it's ticky-tack, but of course it favors the Chiefs because they would lose momentum at this point. Like, it's egregious. So yeah, we bitch about this every week. So when it finally happens in a game where the refs are clearly on the side of the Chiefs and they still lose, again, what is the excuse for Chiefs fans this week? You were coming off a bye. You have everybody back. You got out. You got the same amount of penalties, but you had the penalty yards outgain the other team by over 100 yards. So what's the excuse?
Oh, not over. It was close to 100, but still, I mean, over dramatic. I get it.
It was 13 yards away from being 100 yards.
My favorite thing about this entire game, obviously, yes, Broncos got the win, Chiefs lost, but was Travis Kelce when he caught that touchdown and he was just like, well, I can't hear you. Like give it to me. Like, well. And then they lose the game.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So again, same amount of total yards, passing yards almost identical, rushing yards almost identical, yards per play almost identical, third down efficiency, first down, everything almost identical, right? Total plays. The Chiefs called 61, the Broncos called 61 plays, Chiefs called 62. Almost identical across the board. The difference in the game was in the red zone, Patrick Mahomes threw one of the worst interceptions you're ever going to see in your life. He threw it directly to the guy.
Yeah.
So again, we have been saying on this podcast, Patrick Mahomes has not been Patrick Mahomes for going on 2.5 years at this point.
Yeah, when he got sacked on his final drive. I almost lost control. I almost lost control of my body.
When can we stop the Patrick Mahomes glazing and just be like, yeah, he won 3 Super Bowls and nobody can take that away from him and all this kind of stuff. But also he's 3-2 in Super Bowls, and 2 of those Super Bowls are a direct result of him being awful. Awful. Again, you can say the O-line was banged up and all that kind of stuff. So what I've been told with Patrick Mahomes is he's the one that makes everything happen. So now you've been telling me this whole season, well, of course the Chiefs are bad. They don't have all their weapons. Well, of course he lost those 2 Super Bowls. The O-line was bad. So it's like, okay, so now all of those are fixed. What's the excuse?
Yeah. You want to know what the cherry on?
Now it's Andy Reid.
You want to know what the cherry on top is? Is Mahomes. Yeah, he's sitting currently 5th in the ESPN odds to win MVP, but he's all the way down to plus 2,200. Love it. Great. And then number 4 is Jonathan Taylor at 650, Josh Allen at 550, Drake May 185. But as we talked about, Stafford, He's at 150. He looks good.
Honestly, I'll tell you what, I legitimately think after this week of football, I honestly think it should be Jonathan Taylor should be the front runner for MVP. No quarterback this Sunday. Again, you can say, oh yeah, Josh Allen had a really good game, but we also saw him a week ago have one of the worst games he's ever had against the Dolphins and get blown out. So it's also like, yeah, his game this week was good, but it doesn't negate the bad game he had last week. Like Jonathan Taylor, we haven't seen him have a bad game this season. It's crazy. But we just needed to vent. We just need to vent.
I mean, that was well earned. Now let's move into some other things.
Good. It feels so good.
Great. It feels
you know what? Let's just go right down the
it feels so good. So in my Patriot chat, I sent we're talking about the Chiefs not making the playoffs, whatnot, and I was like, the Chiefs possibly not making the playoffs and the Patriots getting the number 1 seed or whatever is a possibility. I was like, I'm having wet dreams or whatever. And my buddy was like, well, this could actually happen. So, you're going to be awake. And I'm like, okay, wet daydreams. Like, I don't like, this is the greatest thing. Oh, yeah. I couldn't have asked right now so far up to this point a better season.
Well, there is, what is it? The best part about that with the Kansas City Denver thing is it was just, again, how confident Chiefs fans were that the Broncos were bad and they were just going to destroy them. It was like what have you seen from Denver this season where you were just like, oh yeah, Kansas City's going to destroy them. Like, going to destroy them. Even you and I had difference of opinions of what this game was going on. At no point was either of us like, well, if the Chiefs win, they're going to win in a blowout. Like, not even a possibility.
Not even a possibility.
It feels so good.
All right. Well, let's move on to another slate of games.
Yeah. Let's move to Sunday night's game, Casino. My team, the Philadelphia Eagles, win 16-9 in Philadelphia. Again, this is the perfect encapsulation of, in hypotheticals, the Eagles have never won a game. In the actual games, the Eagles beat all of these teams that every other person is like, well, the Eagles are about to be exposed. It's like, no, it's actually always goes the reverse of that. Always. So Eagles, again, also as an Eagles fan, the doomer in me, as I was just talking about, yeah, the Eagles are 8-2. Do I think they're 8-2 worthy? No. But that doesn't change
their offense needs to figure it out. But I did text you, when this game was concluding, that the Eagles are going to go back to the Super Bowl because of that defense. The defense has figured it out. They look good. They have taken care of, some good teams and keeping them low. Like this.
Well, Lions they also own every tiebreaker against every NFC team now. Just every single one that would be in contention. They beat the Rams. They beat the Lions. They beat the Bucs. They beat the Packers. They beat, I think I said, the Lions. They have the Bears in 2 weeks. So outside of the Seahawks, who just aren't on their schedule, right, every other team they would hold the tiebreaker over. And even the Seahawks, I believe they would hold the tiebreaker over in terms of like wins over common opponents, because the Seahawks lost now to the Rams and the Bucs.
Yeah.
Or no, the Seahawks beat the Bucs.
Yes. I'd have to check, but
anyway, the Bucs won on that last.
What I'm impressed about is against the Packers and the Lions, collectively 16 points. Like the defense has showed up, and going into this weekend, I did have the Rams slightly above the Eagles. Right, I had Rams 1, Eagles 2.
Yes.
I am okay now saying Eagles 1 and Rams 2, and I know they both won, but the defense and with the Eagles, I am worried about that Eagles offense. Very worried. And the Rams moving to 2. This is the same situation, but just flipped. They are right on top of the Eagles. Like they're right behind the Eagles now, just right there. But Matt Stafford, even though he's MVP front runner and, he looked comparable in that game, the Seahawks had 4 turnovers and they almost came back and beat you.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well,
That's worrisome. That's
well, not
worrisome.
only
And
that,
this is me now nitpicking, right? Because Seattle, I
yeah.
think, is a great team. The Rams are a great team. Eagles are a great team. So this is me nitpicking here at this point. But you do have the Eagles have the tie break currently over those teams, which is phenomenal for you guys. The NFC, I mean, you only have like 4 teams that legitimately have a shot to go to
Well,
the Super
actually,
Bowl.
casinos, some would say we have a bubble. Some would say we have like a Super Bowl bubble.
I saw that on Colin the other day.
Yeah. So Colin Cowherd, obviously we love. He
Love him.
has I mean,
Hate
he
J
just
Mac.
yeah, we both hate J-Mac. I think everybody hates J-Mac, but we do love Colin Cowherd. And he did this, I mean, just revolutionary idea where he was like, hey, let's put all the good teams in a bubble. And also, another person I love is Bill Simmons. I now saw that Bill Simmons now has the Super Bowl circle. He has a circle. Colin has a bubble. We just coincidentally have a bubble about 2 years before Colin did. And I debuted the newest one on Fridays. Let me know what you think about this one, Casino.
You got
This
it.
is the newest updated Super Bowl bubble. Your team's in it. My team's in it. The only team we have to now take out of it, sadly, I feel like we have to take out the Chiefs and switch it for the Bills.
See,
or would you do it for Denver?
I put the Broncos in. I'd put the
think so,
Broncos
too.
in over the
I have
Bills
more-
right now.
I agree. So
I would
I'm
put the Broncos in over the
updating
Bills right
that.
now. And I do, and it's only fair, right? To, what, you got a lot of NFC teams right there.
Yeah. Well, again, because in the AFC, I mean, outside of the Bills, the Broncos,
I can see. I know you can't see the Colts, dude.
No, but I have the Colts on the side. They're in the side one. I think.
I just can't believe that my team is in the middle, and I agree with it. The fact that I agree with it, I know I had them at their power ranking at 7 going into this week, and everybody's like, oh, they've played the 10 worst teams in the league or whatever, 10 out of the 11 weeks, right? Whatever. I don't.
But it's
care.
not like they made the schedule.
Yeah,
that's
and they
the
didn't
whole
make the
thing with
schedule.
that.
And here's the thing: they are taking care of business. They are crushing defenses. Number 1 passing defense. Number 2 passing defense. Like number 3 passing defense. Number 1 rushing defense. Number 3 overall defense. Like number 10 passing defense. There's a whole list. I had that pulled up, and it's true. Like, yes, those teams aren't winning, but their defenses are good, and you see it from week to week. That's what makes. You saw it with the Ravens, right? A high-powered offense going in and struggling to score against the Browns. Guess what? The Patriots took care of the Browns like it was nothing. So it's insane for me to actually think that the Patriots have a shot to go to the Super Bowl, and they do. And I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm freaking out about it. Well, I'm trying to be that calm, collected fan, right? I'm trying to take the fan out of it, and I'm trying to just be. I'm going so far the other direction where I'm just trying to be like, no, I got to see more. I want to see more. I'm not sure yet, but I think it's safe to say that I'm sure. Now, they look good, dude. They look good.
They look good. And again, when it comes to the AFC, outside of the Broncos, who do you see in the AFC that you legitimately would be like, oh yeah, they're better right now than the Patriots? Like, because again, we've seen the Colts kind of stumble the past couple weeks. So you can't say Colts. Again, outside of Broncos, the closest one would be the Bills, a team you beat. And then you get to a bunch of just random teams where that's where all of a sudden there's the Chargers and there's the Jaguars, there's the Steelers, there's the Chiefs. Like,
yeah,
none
they need
of those
to
teams,
but they need to start playing those kind of those kind of opponents. But I feel comfortable with what they have been doing, especially if now, I mean, I'm happy that most likely Jamar Chase will be out for spitting, right? And he might get that 1 game suspension. He should, because look what happened to your guy.
well, that's what I'm saying. Also, that was a full loogie. That was slowed it down, and you could see the whole stream.
I didn't do it, man. Look at me. But I'm glad he's going to be out because hopefully that makes it easier for the Patriots to get a W. But I really want to see what this defense can do against another high caliber receiver, because when they went up against Drake London, yeah, I know the Falcons are trash, but London's good. He's putting up over almost 100 yards a game.
Yeah.
And him and Gonzalez were going back and forth. I want them to get these reps in. Obviously, I want the W. I want that number 1 seed. I feel like, the Patriots are almost a lock for the playoffs at this point. I want to see the high caliber, and I want them to be ready against these playoff caliber teams, right?
Well, and also you don't want to see either the Broncos or the Colts at home in the playoffs, because both those teams right now undefeated at home.
Well, guess what? The Patriots are undefeated on the road. Fuck it.
Oh, that's true.
Let's go.
You guys are 5-0 on the road, 4-2 at home. So maybe you do want to see them on the road.
Possibly. Road Warriors.
That's what I'm saying. But also, Casino, I think we have to unveil the newest Super Bowl bubble. Usually we do this on Friday, but I think it's just apropos. The newest one, I think it's only 4 in the middle.
Dude, that's a pretty legitimate Super Bowl bubble.
I'm saying it's Broncos, Patriots, Rams, Eagles, and then on the fringes we have Colts, Seahawks, Bills, Buccaneers, Ravens, Lions. I mean, outside of that, have the Bears done enough where they have earned a bubble on the outside?
No, and I don't think they give it 2 shits. My buddy who was a Bears fan last night, he was just like, Eagles won. They're top of the division. They're top of the division. They're top of the division. It's mind blowing. Again, it's only it could only be from a higher power. The Pope himself.
And speaking of, there was a higher power unholy alliance between the Eagles and Bears for the past month, because just coincidentally, the Eagles played 3 NFC North teams in a row.
Yep.
The Lions played 3 NFC East teams in a row, and the Eagles went 3-0, the Bears went 3-0, and then that alliance sadly has to end in 2 weeks. But that was fun. That was a nice little thing. And me stupidly, I picked against the alliance. If we remember correctly on Wednesday, I picked the Vikings, then I picked Bears, then I said, who cares?
So let's get in. I know we're kind of bouncing around, but let's get into that game. How about we get into that Bears game? I was so nervous that I was like, the Vikings, they're going to do this. How is 9 going to do this? The alter ego 9 going to do this? For those of you who don't know, JJ McCarthy has given himself the alter ego 9, which is his jersey number, that he really came out to the world a few weeks back. You want to know what his stats are since he came out as 9? I have them right here. 49% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 51 QBR, 5 yards per attempt, an 0-2 record. Since he came out with 9, the dog in him, 9. And he looks like a goddamn child. Like, I'm just gonna flip it over. God.
Oh, that's Jake Doherty or whatever. Darty. That's not actually JJ McCarthy, Casino.
Oh, I know.
That's the joke. Oh, okay.
I know that's because he's 9.
Yeah. What I don't understand and what I've never understood is why football players give themselves.
It's his alter ego.
I hate it so much. I hate when players give themselves nicknames. It's awful. It's cringy. It never works out. It never sounds cool. You have to be bestowed a nickname by either teammates or an opposing team or a coach or something like that. Like, I always hated where Matty Ice, where they were just like, oh yeah, that's what his parents call him. His parents call him Matty Ice. And then it's so like, funny. Well, then guess what? That's not your football nickname because that's not cool.
It's not too far off, man. He still looks like a dweeb.
I mean, yeah, he looks like a dweeb, but he also, I wish he looked more like an NFL quarterback. I just wish, because when you watch him,
he's no Garoppolo, right? He does not have that chiseled chin. He's not. Oh, we're talking about like stats. Sorry, I thought I was starting to have a little thought of.
But
Garoppolo.
Yeah, McCarthy.
Moving on.
50% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Again. The Vikings fans, and more importantly, the Vikings coaching staff, is praying to the same God that is giving these Bears a 7-3 record, that Sam Darnold has had the bad 2 games that he has had. Because now all the you should have kept Darnold chatter has quieted a pretty significant amount. So
it has. But
Uh,
I would 100% still rather have Darnold on my team.
oh yeah, but again, McCarthy, he's technically still a rookie, but again, you want to see flashes. And outside of that fourth quarter on Monday Night Football, where he had like a really good 15 minutes, there has been flashes far and few between, if there's been any at all. So I don't know at what point do you just go, this guy isn't the guy. Obviously, you have to finish the season. But again, this Vikings team, what? They were a 13-14 win team last year. Only thing that's really changed has been the quarterback. So now all of a sudden they're 4-6 and bottom of the NFC North. Again, last year, pretty much the same Bears team. Only thing that changed was the coaching staff. Like, I don't know, man. If you're the Vikings, it's just like, if you're a Vikings fan, you're just like, well, we went to the playoffs and almost went to the Super Bowl, one game away with Case Keenum, and then we just got rid of him for who? And then with Sam Darnold, you were blessed having Sam Darnold after you had all those Kirk Cousins years. And then it was just like, well, we were a 14-win team and then got rid of him. It's just like, how many of these quarterbacks, when they have this one miracle season, do you just go, oh, maybe we should try that guy again? Like, maybe it just works. Like, I've never understood that. When the Eagles had Nick Foles and he had that 27-2 year, and then a couple years later he comes back and wins the Super Bowl, and then the year after that they were like, we're just going back to Wentz, and then Wentz just had the same issues. It was just like, hey, the second Nick Foles comes on this team, all of a sudden they're a drop away from potentially going back to the Super Bowl against the Saints. It's like, hey, maybe we just stick with that guy. Like, who cares about literally everything else? Maybe we stick with that guy. So with Sam Darnold, I don't know. Maybe you stick with the guy who won 14 games. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a blessing in disguise.
So being on this trend of talking about first-year quarterbacks and being misses, let's move over to the Browns. I can't wait to talk about this. So the Ravens, they get their win. They are 5-5. They got back to 500. Slow clap. Or not slow clap. The golf clap. There you go. Golf clap. Good for them. 5-5. I love to see it because that makes it now to where the Ravens could probably make the playoffs and fight for that spot against the Chiefs. That makes me really, really happy. But the big story in this game, at least for me, outside of the really cool, awesome tush push that non-tush push that
great.
Andrews made, which that rollout and him full-on sprinting was just the greatest, funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
But it was Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, but Shedeur Sanders, your moment. You had it. You get to come in and take over for Gabriel and see what you got. 4 for 16. 47 yards, 1 interception.
Yeah.
It makes sense. We were all questioning, why is he the third fourth-string quarterback on this team? Why are they? It makes sense now. It makes 100 million. And he almost had a second pick. He did not look good in his debut. His dad, who's also over in Colorado having a horrible year as a coach, they need to just go crawl away. Like, I'm tired of hearing about the Sanders thing. Just again, I'm so done with it.
For the sports haters weekend, this was like, I mean, gold star. And again, it's a possibility because the Cowboys have had just weeks where they don't show up. If the Cowboys lose to the Raiders tonight on Monday Night Football, this might be an all-time like haters of just all the random NFL teams and players and all this kind of stuff. This might be a weekend that's never topped in the history of the sport, because
the Dolphins won in OT, which sucks, but
again, it's
they look bad doing it.
The Herbert haters, they watched him that team just get annihilated. We saw, what is it? Like you said, all the Seattle Seahawks fans were talking mad shit. They lose at home and their quarterback looks awful. The Chiefs, obviously, we talked about, lose to the Browns or not to the Browns, to the Broncos. And then this Browns team where
the Seahawks were on the road, by the way.
Oh, that's true. But then, again, I don't really give a shit about Shedeur Sanders. I just think it's a funny how I've never seen a quarterback drafted in the 5th round just be like, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody on my team. Like, that's weird. And it's one of those things where hyping yourself up with no hype from anybody else, except obviously your dad, who used to be your former coach. Again, weird where they put your, where they retire your number in the stands after you did nothing in college and
It's
were
funny you
drafted in the
say
fifth
that.
round.
It's funny you say that.
We
Have you seen that GIF of it in reverse? So you know how they unveiled it. Now it's in reverse, and they're putting the sheet back over it. It made me laugh. So his official stats, like I said, 4 for 16, so 25% completion rating, 47 yards, 1 interception, 2 sacks, a fumble, 1 intentional grounding, a 13.5 passer rating, and then and then 6 net yards on dropbacks, on 16 dropbacks. 16 dropbacks. All of them. This is so funny. It's great. It's
well,
great. I'm so pleased because going into that draft, dude, I was just so done hearing about him. I was done. And we
well,
were having
again,
a blast that he kept getting pushed to the next day, to the next, like, it was the
but
greatest thing.
see, he could have done the easiest flip in like terms of perspective if all he would have had to do was just like, man, this was like a humbling experience. Like, I really need to like check my ego at the door. I'm going to work harder than everybody. I'm going to prove it on the field. Instead, he went the exact opposite route and just went, oh, well, 32 teams are wrong and I'm the best quarterback
Yeah.
on the team and
Did
I'm
you
going to
see him
prove it.
entering did you see him entering the field?
Yeah, and
He
the
was just
crowd
like,
goes
he's
crazy.
trying to hype everybody
Yeah,
up, and I'm like,
well,
dude,
the crowd went crazy expecting something, and then he goes out there and just has, again, abysmal. And now there's that clip that's going viral where he's getting rushed like of just a straight shot from one of the Ravens
he got
defenders.
lit.
Well, that is because, and again, people have been like, this, what do you expect on this team? And then the people who actually know football have been like, yeah, he's the one that calls that out at the line, and he's the one that sets the protection. So him getting blitzed when there's 3 Browns offensive linemen going to the right side of that, blocking nobody, like, that's on him to call that and pick that up on the line. That's why it's one of the hardest, if not the hardest position in sports. Like, that's on him. So again, the question on Screen Casino, and we have a bad habit this show of, we talked about the Eagles Lions and did not talk about the Eagles at all. We talked about the Kansas City Broncos game and didn't talk about the Broncos at all. And we just
No,
talked
I
about the
talked about the
Bears
Broncos.
Vikings. Yeah, but we are hyping too much of these teams that lost. We need to hype up. And my question for you is, are the Ravens back? Yeah. Well, again, I think the Browns are good. Their defense still a top 5 defense in the league right now, number 2. But again, this was not a good game for Lamar Jackson or
No,
the
but I do
Ravens.
think the Ravens make the playoffs because I do think the Steelers, especially now um, with
Rodgers hurt.
Rodgers getting hurt, even though it's his non-throwing wrist, I do think that the Ravens will end up taking this division, maybe with 9 wins.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see because again, yeah, the let's jump over to that Steelers game. Steelers won in the same division, AFC North matchup, 34-12 against the Bengals in Pittsburgh. But Rodgers, has there been anything said about him? Because
I have not. Nothing has come across for me. No.
so he got knocked out of this game. It was his non-throwing shoulder. Is that correct? Or did they say non-throwing arm?
Wrist.
Oh, his non-throwing wrist. I knew it was some part of the arm. But so he will most likely miss time. But there is also, again, this Steelers team as the.
No, last update that I see is from 19 hours ago, and from an actual real source, 21 hours ago.
And there's just been no
Yeah.
no update. So it looks like Rodgers again will be hobbled for at least the foreseeable future. The Baltimore Ravens, again, their defense is improving while Pittsburgh's defense has just been quietly bad all season. And I feel like we don't talk enough about just how bad this Steelers defense is, especially when Ravens in the same division had a worse defense than the Steelers. Now the Steelers defense technically is worse than the Ravens if you want to go by total defense. So the entire point of everybody writing off the Ravens this entire season was, man, look at their defense. Look at how bad their defense was. Now the Steelers defense is worse than the Ravens defense. So at what point do we say, yeah, this is the Ravens division again? Because we did it on Wednesday's show. The playoff probability, the Vegas odds are all pointing to the Ravens coming from 1-5 and winning this
what's
division.
Crazy? Just absolute crazy. The team that has the worst record has the best defense in that division.
I know.
By the largest margin.
Well, that also just proves that how both sides of the ball matters. Like, again, Browns have the best defense in that league, in that division by far. They can't score any points, so they're last in that division. Cowboys have the best offense by far in the NFC East. They're bottom of that division because they can't stop anybody. It's like complementary football has never been, and honestly, that might be what wins the Super Bowl this year. Not the best defense, not the best offense, just who's ever the most complimentary football.
And that's why I think the Pats have a legitimate shot.
Yeah, that's why I think the Pats
do.
That's
we know their defense
is.
We know their defense is great. Their run defense is stud. And then you have a quarterback that is, yes, he's still learning. He's only year 2, but this offense, they learn as they go, and that is great. You know,
honestly, that's why I think the 4 teams in the Super Bowl bubble we just talked about are the 4 leaders in that race to get to the Super Bowl. Because again, Bo Nix might not fit this equation because I don't think he's efficient, but I would say Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and Jalen Hurts have probably been 3 of the top 5 most efficient quarterbacks in the league. Efficiency. And again, their defenses on all those teams are great. Efficiency. But actually, let's move off this game and go to a fish in the sea, aka a sea chicken casino, which is not really a fish, but you go to, I'm trying here. We have the sea, fish, birds. I don't know.
Coastal creatures.
Coastal creature like a ram, like a Los Angeles Ram. We saved it. The Rams win 21-19 in LA against the Seattle Seahawks. The story of this game was twofold. One, the Seahawks defense and Rams defense, both of them look great. The Rams defense looked great because Sam Darnold, 29 for 44, 279, 65% completion percentage, 0 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions that easily could have been 5 interceptions. He almost had a fumble as well. My question to you is, Casino, what is going on with Sam Darnold?
And we know what it is, Ben. When he gets pressured, he has trouble reading. He has trouble reading what's in front of him when he's pressured, right? That was his issue, and we figured that out towards the end of the year once teams figured it out. So I am a little worried for Seattle, but I feel like I can trust Seattle figuring it out moving forward more than what I could with the Vikings. But that Seattle's defense, man, they were stout. Yes, I know the Rams defense, they had the 4 interceptions, and they look great getting to Sam Darnold. Very complimentary football team. That team is really good, and it's a struggle for me to put them behind the Eagles now because the Eagles offense is still a little shaky for me. But the Rams look good in almost all facets of the game. Seahawks, you got to figure out the Sam Darnold pressure issue. You do, you're in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You do, you're in. But again, 4 interceptions, almost 5, right? Almost a fumble. And they almost came back and won this game.
That's the craziest part. And honestly,
but we've talked about this because there's been multiple games this season. The Patriots had one, right? Goff had one, or this was last year, right? Goff had it where he came back. He had 5 turnovers and he ended up winning a game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. Like, these weird games happen. The Chiefs one was right last week where it was like, how How are they close?
We'll see. And this is because I think when you look at the Super Bowl contenders, when we just did the Super Bowl bubble, I think every team has one major flaw where you're just like, if they overcome this, then they'll win the Super Bowl. For the Rams specifically, they have had multiple games this year where they have they've let the team hang around to come back to where it's just like, uh-oh, like, are the Rams going to lose this game even though they've thoroughly outplayed the other team the entire game? Again, against the Eagles, they let it happen. They gave up 22 points after they had completely dominated that game in the first half. This game, you looked at on paper and you watch the game and you're just like, oh, the Rams should be killing them. Like, the Rams should be winning this game by 3
Yeah.
touchdowns. When it comes to the Eagles, we said their offense is a question mark. Same with the Broncos. Their offense is a question mark. The question mark with the Patriots is what you talked about, which is they just haven't played anybody. So when they do have to play 3 good teams in a row, what will that even look like? We don't know. So with all these contenders, again, the thing with the Seahawks is in every big game we've seen Sam Darnold play, he's like 1-7 in the past 2 years in like big games, right? It's like, and again, I'm pulling that number out of my ass. I don't know the actual number, but it's when
It feels like that, right?
yeah, when you see Sam Darnold in the big game, you're just like, man, he just doesn't show up. And again, that is a thing you need your quarterback to do. Same with Goff, if you want to throw the Lions in there. Like, Goff, again, just has these bad outside in weather games. And if the playoffs are going to go through Philadelphia, like, yeah, you're going to have to play a bad weather game. If it goes through, I mean, who are the other contenders in the NFC? I don't think it would have to be, it would have to go through at this point right now, it would have to go through Philadelphia or Chicago. Those are the 2 teams right there. So it's like you either have to play a playoff game in Chicago in January or in Philadelphia in January. Those are both outside of your dome. And we saw last night.
Ho, ho, bitches. Snowy,
yeah,
snow.
Exactly. And again, Stafford was bad in Philadelphia last year until the weather got bad. Then all of a sudden he got really good. So he's the kind of flip side of that, which is he can go to those cold weather bad games and win. So yeah, I even forgot what game we're talking about. Whatever.
It's on your screen. It's
Seattle Rams. Well, let's move to the other marquee matchup we had on this Sunday, which was the Buffalo Bills winning 44-32 in Buffalo against the Buccaneers. That score is very deceiving because this game was very close till what, about 4 minutes left?
Yeah, 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so good. I loved every second. Take it away.
No, I was just going to say this is the game that put Josh Allen back on the top of the MVP front runner. I believe he's first after this game.
No.
Is it still Drake May? Who is it?
We just went over it. Remember, it's Stafford. Stafford. Drake May, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's at like 550. Drake May is 185. Stafford's 150. And then Taylor's, I think, 600.
Yeah. Again, I would say Taylor should be MVP, but if Stafford wins it with what he's done the past month, like, it makes sense.
It totally makes sense. But Josh Allen, man, what he did, yeah, he had 2 picks, but he made up for it. 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the air. Just, he's a stud. Dude, he's just truly a specimen. Right.
And again, they needed this bounce. He specifically needed this bounce back game after that Dolphins game.
Because he just looked bad. I really think he may have had something last week, like some sort of illness that he just was not there.
Yeah, it was a bad game. So my question, Casino, going along with the Buccaneers pirate theme, did the Bills right the ship? Are the Bills back on track? Are they?
This is why you're a writer. That was clever. That was delightful.
Yeah. We showed the Super Bowl bubbles. Should the Bills be in the center? Are they a legit Super Bowl contender? Or are they on the fringes? What do you think after this game?
They've got a little more to prove for me. That defense
I
is
think so too.
iffy,
Yeah.
right? That defense is iffy. Yes, we know Cook can run. He didn't run all that great against the Bucs, but he can run. Josh Allen, when he's playing like this, which I mean, 1 in every 3 games, you are guaranteed a top tier Josh Allen game. Guaranteed a top
Yeah.
tier Josh Allen game. Like it makes him deadly, right? So I wouldn't put him in that Super Bowl bubble to win the Super Bowl, but man, they're right there because you never know what you're going to get with Josh Allen, right?
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like at this point, like the guarantee great game, it used to be Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. I think you can take Mahomes off that list as of right now. And really, it's only Lamar or Josh Allen where you're like, oh, yeah, every third game, they're just going to do something insane,
Yeah,
right?
they're going to
Their
set another
stat line's
NFL
going to look
record in
insane.
something.
Yeah, their stat line is just going to be like, wait, they had how many? Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. Like it's just going to be one of those things.
So dumb.
But as far as the Buccaneers go, Casino, they are a half a game lead in the NFC South against my Carolina Panthers. Thoughts on this Buccaneers team and just what is transpiring in the NFC South? Could the Panthers legitimately win this division?
Yeah, as long as they keep pounding. Yeah, just keep pounding the Panthers' way, right? Oy vey. Beating the Falcons. Again, the Falcons have a bad record, but the Falcons are feisty. They are a very good pass rushing team, right? They get to your quarterback. They make you have to figure things out. And what Bryce Young did, this is what we want from him, right? We want him to do that.
I always
So
believed.
the Bucs, man. I mean, Baker had a pretty okay game. I mean, he didn't have the best game, but it was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, I mean, it was a 72 and a half for his, no, his QBR was 68.8. Like,
yeah, it was fine. Again, it was fine.
Fine.
It wasn't a good enough game to win against like the juggernauts in this league. And even though the Bills are kind of having an off season, they're still 7-3. They're still a juggernaut, right? And again, with this Bucs team, it kind of feels like a little bit of Seattle. It kind of feels like a little bit of these other teams where
It's
you're
really-
just like,
yeah, the injuries finally caught up with them where, yes, they were able to put up 32 points, but man, if you had Godwin and Evans, with Sterling Shepard,
Bucky Irving.
like this could have been a completely different year, right? Like,
also, which speaking of Casino, I need to pat myself on the back this week because in fantasy I needed a running back, or no, I didn't need a running back. I was just looking at who I should pick up, and Sean Tucker was on the waiver wire, and I was like, should I pick him up? And I was like, no, I don't need him. I don't need him. So I stuck to my guns. And as we've been talking about when we talk about fantasy, there is one person in my league. I am in second place. There's one person in my league who is 10-0 and just running roughshod over our entire league. I played him this week. Not only did I destroy him, I ended his 10-game winning streak. I'm still in second place because obviously I was at 7-3. Now I'm going to be 8-3. He's going to be 10-1. But my team won 162 to 104. So patting myself on the back for doing what many in the league thought were impossible.
I won by half a point.
You won by half a point? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So,
what was the final score?
I think it was less than half point. It was like 87. Yeah, it was low scoring. It was 87 and 87.5. Oh, here we go. It's pulling up. Yeah, they had 87.5. I had 88.02.
Jesus.
So this is really funny because what I have done, what my team, pull up so I can get the exact numbers here, my schedule. So 2 weeks ago, I won 81 points, 81.36 to 76.08.
Oh my God. Why are you guys league scoring so low?
Just bad games, right? It happens. And then last week, though, I won 159.92, so almost 160. Over 115. Doesn't matter. They weren't going to beat me. And then I go right immediately back to scoring in the 80s and winning again. So I'm on the 3-game win streak solely on pure luck. but I told you I was going on that 4-game losing streak where I put up 124 points, lost to 157. I put up 135 points, lost to 145. I put up 133 points, lost to 144. And then a normal one where it was 104, 120. So, at normal range. But I was putting up insane numbers and just getting beat out by the person who's putting up the most numbers in the league.
Dude, I hate that. That's my most infuriating thing that happens in fantasy.
It was crushing me. It was 4 weeks in a row.
Where you're like, I would have beat every single other team this week except the one I'm playing. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, the week 6, dude, I had that one covered. The one where I had 135. They had an 8% chance to beat me, and that was when the Falcons on Monday night went off. And Drake London had like 1 billion points, and Robinson had 1 billion points, and they also had Penix. I was just like, well, that sucks. They put up 90. They scored 145 points that week. 90 of them, it was 89 something, were all from those 3 players. So fuck off, that sucked. But yeah, I got the win. This has been great. So
I brought up fantasy so we could segue over to the Panthers.
I had to tell you. I thought you would appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I did.
And I brought two wins, scoring 88 something points.
And I won in part in fantasy to our next game, the Carolina Panthers winning 30-27 against the Falcons. Tetaroa McMillan in this game, he is on my fantasy team. He had 34 points based on 8 receptions, 130 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Again, I also had Drake London on my team, who on the opposite end had, 7 receptions, 119 yards,
19,
and no touchdowns. But still, thank you to the wide receivers in this game. Thank you to Bryce Young, who I did not have on my team, but we picked on our picks. Our difference was Falcons, Panthers were one of them. I actually haven't, I know you beat me this week, but we have tonight's game different. I have the Cowboys, you have the Raiders.
Yeah, remember we coin flipped it. I know I'm going to lose, so you get one here, so it's fine.
But none of our upset picks, none of our best games, none of our blowouts, none of those hit. So this was a week where it was just based on picks. We had a lot of games different. I believe Casino won this week by 2. Talk about this game and I'll tally it up.
Yeah. So coming up on this game, let me pull that up.
Falcons Panthers.
Oh, Falcons Panthers. Sorry, I was like, which game are we talking about? Because you started talking about Monday night. Yeah, this game was fun. I was so excited for this game. I was talking with my wife just about the whole time, like, man, we got different picks on this one. I need this one. I want this one. He picked the Panthers. I like the Panthers, but I don't care for the Falcons, but they should win. Bryce Young, man, as we said multiple times so far this podcast, I like him. We like him. He just seems like a likable guy, and we want the best for him. We like the Panthers, right? We have nothing against Carolina at all.
No, even though Cam Newton has been super annoying on television lately.
Okay, I can't.
Very annoying.
Dude, I can't with Cam Newton. And now he's taking shots at the Patriots and whatnot.
Dude, he's taking shots at the Patriots, at the Eagles, at like every good team in the league. And it's like, you had one good season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a chance to win a Super Bowl, but you decided not to dive on a football, you dumb little piece of shit. You ugly hat wearing piece of shit. Like when he became the Patriots
words.
Dude, when he became the quarterback for 100%. When he became, actually, it's kind of cool that he has a thing. But you know what? Fuck him and his ass. When he was the Patriot quarterback, I couldn't stand his ass. I hated it. I guess the play calling should have had him running the ball more because his arm was gone. I mean, he never had a great arm, in my opinion, in the first place. But I can't stand Cam Newton. I think he is just the scum of football. One of them. I'll say it how it is. And maybe a lot of it has to do to, him being on the Patriots and sucking. Who knows? I don't know. But
yeah, I remember coming on this show and defending Cam Newton, but lately, again, not just for my team, just for his takes in general. I'm just like, this is bad. This is Skip Bayless level bad. This is, and again, I think he's on. Again, I don't watch any of these shows. I just see clips. So maybe in the context, he makes complete sense. But I think he's on Skip Bayless's former show, just doing a Skip Bayless impression, just a awful, awful takes. Now, again, he'll never reach my level of hatred I have for Skip Bayless because I think he's maybe the worst thing to ever happen to sports entertainment in terms of like sports talk shows and stuff like that. He's the worst thing to ever happen to sports talk in the history of sports talk.
He makes me actually like Stephen A. Smith. What?
I know.
And I can't stand. Well, my thing with Stephen A. Smith is he's just loud.
Yeah, well, I just don't like Stephen A. Smith for, again, the same reason that I didn't like Skip Bayless, which is just every discussion, every disagreement is not the biggest thing that has ever happened in sports. Like every single thing where you disagree with somebody, it's never like, oh, it's never just like, oh yeah, I mean, we just disagree. It's always just like, no, this is egregious. And then that's where it gets like the loud, but that was for both of them. And again, that level of debate about sports becoming just like how we talk about sports, it ruined sports talk.
And that's why we were both that's why we were both Shannon Sharp fans, and we didn't give a shit when he was banging on whatever.
Banging on TikTok, banging on, no, it was Instagram, wasn't it? It was Instagram Live.
Which is still just so funny. And everybody was just like, so many people were like, yeah, we give you a buy on that because Skip sucked.
Yeah. And again, so we also we did not defend him when he got in a fight with John Morant on the court with all his friends or whatever. But I will say, between Cam Newton and Shannon Sharp, great dresser. Every time I see Shannon Sharp out in public, whatever he's dressed in, I'm like, whoever his designer is, or I'm so poor and so badly dressed, I don't know what it's called when people dress you yourselves. Stylist, I don't know. I think it's stylist.
Your tailor, your stylist, or whatever.
Whoever dresses him is great. Great job. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That sweater he was wearing when he confronted John Morant, that was beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. But I don't know how we got on that tangent.
I don't know, but I'm glad we did, because I gotta say how I felt about Cam Newton.
But let's go through a couple of these other games. Also, we did, the question on screen was, can the Panthers win the NFC South? Yes, they can. I don't know how, but they can.
Yeah.
Last game I really wanted to talk about, because the other ones, who cares about?
We didn't even talk about the Patriot game, but you know what? We don't need to. Patriots good.
Well, also it was against the Jets. That game pretty much went exactly.
It was Thursday night in division, and I was scared, right?
No, that's what I said. As a fan of the Eagles who saw the Giants dismantle them, I don't take any Thursday night game for granted. But speaking of the Giants, I think the last two games we have to talk about, because all the other ones, it's kind of who cares. The last two games you have to talk about are,
we covered all of them, I think.
Well, we got to talk Chargers, Jacksonville, and then we got to talk our next game, Green Bay, New York Giants. Green Bay wins 27-20 in New York. Oh, well, technically New Jersey, in MetLife Stadium.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Against
the Giants. Again, I don't know what has happened with this Packers team. I have as close to zero confidence in this team without saying zero confidence, because there's always a chance. But I just do not think for the past month and a half, maybe at this point, 2 months, I've seen the Packers play a good game. Like where I have no question marks coming out of it.
Yeah, they're kind of, I don't know, dude. They're kind of like the Niners, right?
Yeah, where you just have zero confidence. They're not.
I wouldn't even say it's all so much the defense. Yes, they're not looking like as dominant as we thought they would, but a lot of this offense, man. What is going on? They don't have an identity. Josh Jacobs was kind of it, and he's now hurt. So this team is going to start rattling off some losses. I really think the Bears are going to take that division. I really do. I do too.
Again, I don't think Caleb Williams is necessarily a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
Yeah. And by the way, pick on Caleb Williams. So BJ did send me screenshots of whatnot.
I should pull this up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Of me saying this guy was like, oh, what he's talking about. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson doesn't work. Yeah, they didn't at first. They didn't work. And some would argue they still don't. It's either Caleb Williams figuring out how to somewhat play in a system, but I think it's more Ben Johnson being able to write up plays to allow Caleb Williams to be a little bit more improv, skippity scat. And this guy called me out, which is fine. Totally get it. It's fine. Do it. We love it. I love it. That I don't know what I'm talking about, and about Caleb and Ben Johnson, that they are working. Dude, they're squeaking out games. They almost lost to the Vikings, right? They almost lost to 9, which is funny. But I will say, whoever took that screenshot of me looking like this, that's hysterical, because I brought it up many, many times on the show. I've talked to BJ off show about it, on how I hate watching myself on screen. And I'm like, I need to open my eyes more. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like deep in thought. This one.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Dude,
I wish I could zoom in. Or
it's
maybe
hysterical. I do it all the time. I'll tell you what.
It is sometimes our commenters, most of the time they're just awful, but sometimes they are funny. And this
had me going. That had me going.
I don't know why this is doing this, but
I don't either.
Yeah, so we have Casino's face there. I responded, how the hell are the Bears 7-3? But then also we have Bro saying Ben and Caleb don't work. Sounds like he hasn't even watched one game. I said Bears also, again, on TikTok, I'm replying to everything. So everybody's always so mean to Casino. He never sees it unless I show it to him.
That's fine.
It's me. Be mean to me so I can argue with you.
It's okay. It's okay, man.
So
I'm fine with it. I have good takes. I have bad takes. It is what it is.
Again,
right?
So does everyone. But this person says,
guess what? I have one of the only takes that might hit in all of sports media. So go fuck yourself.
That is very true. But this person says, Bro saying Ben and Caleb don't work. Sounds like he hasn't even watched one game. I said Bears fans were calling for Tyson Badgett, or is it Taylor Tyson? Whatever. The Bears backup quarterback to start a couple of weeks ago. What are you talking about? And then, this one also made me laugh. This guy said, that was 2 months ago, not a couple of weeks ago. I said, so week 2, aka a couple of weeks ago, I said I saw people in October, which was by the little definition a couple of weeks ago. But this also said that weak ass goatee doesn't work, referring to Casino. Now let's go full screen on Casino's face. That's not a goatee. Again, if you're going to insult us,
this is very just unkept man pubes on my face. It is okay.
And mine are kept man pubes.
And the reason I have a little bit of gross scruffle on my face is so my double chin doesn't show as bad.
Because again,
it is awful, because I always wear a hat. So if I shave completely, I just have this hanging, and it's just, my face looks like just a round fucking beach ball, which is just skin colored beach ball, and it's gross. And I'm working on that. So thank you.
Well, also, nobody can ever insult our looks on this show better than the guy who called us dumpy white guys.
Oh, dumpy white guys.
So unless you're saying something funnier than that, like, don't even attempt it, because it'll always be second place. And also, again, you've won an argument when the attacker just goes for your looks. And I guarantee you, this is how I feel about most people commenting on our post or in our comments or whatever. I guarantee you Casino and I are more attractive than you. It's a guarantee, because again, only ugly people say shit about other people's appearances. I've never seen a hot person be like, that person is ugly. It's only people that are threatened by how attractive Casino and I are. Thank you so much. That has been my TED Talk. And now, Casino. Oh no, this whole thing is, I got to get out of this. Now, Casino, let's talk about the last game. And I saved it for the last game because it was, outside of the Chiefs game and the Eagles winning, my favorite game. Because again, it fits in with those other things, which is the Herbert Hurts discussion kind of died. And then the Chiefs playoff hopes kind of died when the Jaguars won. The Jaguars won 35-6 in Jacksonville. Justin Herbert in this game, 10 of 18, 81 yards, 55% completion percentage, 1 interception, got sacked twice, quarterback rating of 44, gets knocked out of the game. Trey Lance comes in, doesn't do much better. But wasn't Harbaugh at the beginning of the season, wasn't his whole thing after the Kansas City win in Brazil? He did a press conference where he said, we were just waiting for our team to catch up to Justin Herbert, and it has. So that's why our team is so good right now. Now, the Eagles have not played with their week 1 offensive line since week 1. And then they played with it last week, and then Lane Johnson got injured almost immediately, and now he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks, which is a huge loss, and I'm devastated. So the Eagles, this entire season have not been playing with their offensive line. Nobody brings that up as an excuse for Jalen Hurts. All I've heard about with Justin Herbert is his offensive line is bad. So his offensive line is so bad that he can only score 6 points.
It's the media markets that they're in, man. LA, Philly.
Yeah, but it's not local media. This is all sports people. So again,
doesn't matter. They want to save face with people in LA. They want to save face with people in New York, Texas, all those things. They don't care about you in Philly. They don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought Justin Herbert had the best weapons he's had in a long time with Keenan Allen and McConkey and all these guys. Again, on our TikTok in the comments, the Chargers weapons are elite. They're elite. They're better than the Jaguars' weapons. Offensive line doesn't matter. He's had the best coach he's ever had. So what is the excuse now for Justin Herbert? What is it?
I think you might be right. I think he might just be.
He's just a stat guy. It's just a stat merchant. My voice cracked right there because it annoys me so much. Like, what does Justin Herbert do that every other quarterback does not do? That is my question. Like, what he's good at what? He's good at what? He doesn't win games more than any other quarterbacks. He doesn't put up better stats than other quarterbacks. He never wins MVP. He has one of the best coaches in the NFL. So what is it? What is it that makes him so great? Because again, before the season started, I was told he was a top 5 quarterback and it wasn't even up for debate. So now we are going into week 12. His team is 7-4. And they are second in their division, the only division where, again, Kansas City was projected to go to the Super Bowl again, projected to be a great team again, as long as when they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City or in Brazil in week 1, it was like, oh, they slayed the dragon. This is the Chargers division to win. Nobody gives a shit about the Broncos. Bo Nix isn't better than Justin Herbert. So again, what is the excuse for Justin Herbert? More importantly, what is the excuse for this Chargers team that goes into Jacksonville against a Jaguars team no one believes in, and they lose 35-6? What's the excuse?
There is no excuse, man. There is no excuse. I'm done giving excuses for Herbert. I just can't anymore. I legitimately can't anymore. At least we know we're going to get in Jacksonville, right? You have either Trevor Lawrence has a good game or not. Yeah, it is.
Also, the Chargers defense right now, top 4 in the league. So the Chargers defense is 4th. So Herbert, best coach, best weapons he's ever had, top 5 defense, goes into Jacksonville. And again, yes, he got hurt and injured in this game. I'm not talking about that. He still started this game. And by the time he got knocked out in this game, they were losing pretty severely at that point. So again, Jaguars defense is not good. The Jaguars defense is 23rd in the league. The Jaguars offense is not good. They are 19th in the league. So both of them are bottom tier offenses and defenses. You're going into Jacksonville. Again, Kansas City, they lose. What is it? They have the worst record they've had since Herbert has been in the league in this division. And you're still laying these type of goose eggs against this Jaguars team that, again, the Chiefs looked better than for most of that game, and then they still lost it. But yeah, I just would like, please, in the comments below, tell me what is the excuse for Justin Herbert this week? Because again, if it's offensive line, why does no other quarterback get that excuse? It makes no sense.
Great points, man. You good?
Yeah. Let's see. The last games we didn't talk about. Miami won in Spain against the Commanders. Didn't watch a second of that game.
Every highlight I saw was just balls rolling around on the ground.
Those were different videos. Let's see.
Okay.
Other than that, Houston wins against Tennessee 16-13, and then I think every other one we talked about.
Yeah.
So those two again were not really too much.
Bad.
Oh, we didn't talk about the 49ers blowing out the Cardinals. Or did we?
I think we did.
No, I think we did it on TikTok. Really, the only thing to talk about from this game is shout out Jacoby Brissett, 47 for 57, 82% completion percentage, 452 yards. That's insane.
Start him over Murray. Let Murray go play his COD. Get it done. Just be done with it.
And then the return of Brock Purdy, 19 for 26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. There is so many teams.
The biggest thing to come out of this game is, where are all the Arizona fans? Oh, yeah.
That is very true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so funny how we get all these things right on this show, and then before the season or before these games happen, everybody's talking a lot of shit. And then when what we said was going to happen happens, no, all those people just disappear for some reason. That's so weird. That's so
all
weird.
I know is I should have taken out a second mortgage on the house and put it all on the KC not making the playoffs. Because
I mean that take honestly, I don't want them to make the playoffs. It's like 50% because I don't want to watch them in the playoffs, and 50% because I want to see the casino victory lap when that happens. Because the show after that, I mean, it's just gonna be an hour of that. It's just gonna be.
I mean, it's just gonna be me weeping, happy tears.
Yeah, which I support. Yeah. We're running out of steam. I lost all my.
I'm so tired.
This has been the Only Sports Podcast, maybe one of our best, because everything we said is just coming true, and it feels so good.
Yeah,
it feels.
I'm gonna go work on my neck beard. I gotta go.
Yeah, maybe you should come on the show with just a goatee. I think maybe you could pull it off. Goatee, maybe
it doesn't
try it out. It kind of does a little. I think you could pull off a goatee.
I'll get the Sharpie out.
Yeah. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. Anything else to say before we get out of here, Casino?
I love you, man.
You know what? Right back at you. This, for the third and final time, has been the Only Sports Podcast as I look for the outro. We will see you on Wednesday's show. Adios. Actually, no, I will not say go Cowboys. I just hope this game, I hope, even though it would help me. For the picks, I have 9 right now. Casino has 11. Reminds me of that tragedy. You have 11. I have 9. We have Monday night's game different. So I'm not rooting for the Cowboys. I still want the Raiders to win. So I hope you win this week, Casino. By more than you're winning right now. Go Raiders. Adios. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. We'll see you on Wednesday.